Welcome to the Dan Sports Tips MLB preview for today, the 15th of June. Small loss yesterday. You know, the Giants let us down. They absolutely out-hit the Brewers, but you know, I think there was something 3 times as many hits and they win the game 3-2 because they don't plate runs. I thought the Houston pick was a very good pick. I'm annoyed I didn't put Texas up. I was going to do Texas on the run line as well, but you know, such is life. There's a lot of plays today. There's a couple of games that are going to be key. I'm going to jump straight in. The first game is going to be our most important game today. It is the New York Yankees at the Colorado Rockies. It's almost the perfect storm for run scoring again today. It is a day game at Coors Field. It's warm weather. The wind is blowing out, though not quite as strong as last time or as strong as we'd like. Chad Bettis, a righty starter, which will suit the left-handed heavy Yankees lineup, has really struggled. He goes today for Colorado. He's got an ERA over 11 in his last 4 starts. He will face Ivan Nova for the Yankees, who has allowed a home run in every start he's made this season. He's averaging allowing one in every 5 innings as a starter this year, and now he gets to go to Coors Field and the thin air at altitude. And the Rocks have got plenty of left-handed bats to take advantage of this too. Carlos Gonzalez had a huge game last night. Blackman's got to get going at some point as well, and even the likes of Parra, who don't hit the ball out that much, can do damage on occasion. And then you've got the righties, Arenado and Trevor Story as well, you know. Betts, as I say, has really struggled. He hasn't particularly struggled in the first inning, but I am going to play that today. He's allowed 5 runs across 13 starts, just because the top of the Yankees lineup with Ellsbury, Gardner, McCann, they're all lefties. Beltran, if he plays, but I'm reading he may well not play, is also better hitting left-handed. So there's plenty of opportunity and speed with Ellsbury and Gardner as well at the top of the lineup to give them a chance to strike early. My plays in this game are many. I'm going to play the New York Yankees on the run line. I'm going to buy to -3.5. I'm going to play over 12 runs. I'm going to buy New York Yankees first innings performance on the spreads at 12, and I'm going to buy the cross runs at 42 again. So there's a heavy outlay on this game, but I'm hoping that we're going to smash it out of the park, and I'm hoping the Yankees are going to smash it out of the park fairly regularly as well, to be honest. The next game I want to look at is the Arizona Diamondbacks and Los Angeles Dodgers. Now, maybe I'm taking this a little bit too far. If you've watched the show for any amount of time, you know that I think that the Arizona Diamondbacks perform well against left-handed pitchers. Some of the metrics I use and look at back this up and say they have got 2 or 3 hitters that hit lefties hard. Today they will face a left-handed pitcher. Clayton Kershaw. Kershaw is pretty much the best pitcher alive right now. That being said, the Snakes have beaten lefties virtually every time we haven't put a bet on them against a left-handed pitcher. So I'm going to play today in a game that I fully expect them to lose just because the prices are so big. And I would be really fucking annoyed if we weren't on and they won this game. Kershaw has had struggles with the Diamondbacks. He has lost against them 8 times, which is more than he's lost to any other opponent in the division in his career. So, you know, Zona has given trouble in the past. Patrick Corbin will oppose for the Diamondbacks. Now, he did have a great start in April against the Dodgers as well, where he allowed just 1 run across either 7 or 8 innings, I think it was. He will need to be good if the Diamondbacks are going to win this today. He's certainly capable of that, but he's inconsistent. But the prices reflect that, and I think that they're too big on Arizona to beat the Dodgers today. So we're going to play it. Milwaukee and San Francisco. We are going back to this game. Now, it's a pretty solid pitching matchup today. It's Johnny Cueto against Jimmy Nelson. Now, these pitchers have faced off twice already this season. Both times the game ended 2-1 to the Giants. Johnny Cueto's been outstanding this year. He's dominated the Brewers throughout his career. I still think Jimmy Nelson's a little bit of a mirage, and I'm expecting him to regress at some point. That being said, again, if you've been watching the show for any length of time, I've been banging on about that for over 6 weeks, and it still isn't showing any signs of happening. AT&T Park is an excellent ballpark for the pitchers. We have 2 opposing that have been putting up really good numbers. If Cueto continues in the form he has been, And after last night, you can see why I don't put a whole lot of trust in the Giants lineup that amassed 12 hits but only scored 3 runs. The game should go low. The total is set at 7, and while under is a play, for the upside, I prefer to play the race to 3 runs, neither team in Milwaukee, San Francisco. And I'm going to keep an eye out as well to see if anyone puts correct scores up, because we might as well have a pop at 2-1 depending what the price is. But if I'll see what happens. I might put it up on Twitter later on. I am also waiting for some prices on the New York Mets game. They're off the board at the moment as well. So as I say, do keep an eye on Twitter later on. The St. Louis Cardinals and the Houston Astros, we're going back to this series tonight as well. Adam Wainwright's up for St. Louis. He is starting to look like the pitcher that he was prior to his struggles at the start of this year. The Cardinals' offense should have plenty of opportunity to score against Colin McHugh. He's another pitcher who's been having extended struggles this year. He's coming off his second shortest outing of the season against Texas. He failed to make it out of the 4th inning. He's allowed 4 earned runs in each of his last 2 starts. Wainwright has finally got his off-speed stuff working, in particular his curveball, and has started striking batters out. Houston strike out more than any other team in baseball. Wainwright has allowed 2 runs in each of his last 2 starts. I'm going to take St. Louis on the run line, and I'm going to buy a couple of runs as well, just in case McHugh throws in another howler. And the other game that we're going to be fairly largely in on is the Minnesota Twins. I think they're finishing off the series with the Angels today. Neither pitcher in this game is performing very well. Hector Santiago's got an ERA somewhere in the region of 12 in his last 5 starts. He'll be opposed for Minnesota pitcher Tyler Duffy. His ERA is over 8 in his last 5 games. That being said, at this time, the Twins are hitting the ball, the Angels are not. Now, it's odd to think that I prefer the Twins' offense because they're about 5th or 6th lowest in terms of scoring runs in baseball this season. But I just think they've got more power potential in their lineup than the Angels. The Angels have literally got Mike Trout and occasionally a little bit of Cole Calhoun and Albert Pujols. I'm going to play overs in the game because that covers me in a sense if Tyler Duffy has a bad start, because I cannot see a scenario where the Twins don't get a few runs off of Santiago the way he's been throwing the ball lately. So I'm going to play Minnesota on the money line because they're odds against, and I don't think they should. I think they're favourites in the game. I'm going to play them on a run line. I'm going to buy a couple of runs as well. I'm going to play the standard total over at 8.5, and I'm also going to buy a couple of runs and play over 10.5. Those are the plays I've got for you at this point today. As I say, keep an eye on the Twitter account at dansports.tips because there are likely to be a couple more plays later on. Don't forget to click like and follow and subscribe to the page. Let me know in the comments what you think of today's games, and best of luck if you're having a play today. Play ball.